Hi everyone, I'm Mark, and I make minis in Hero Forge. Today we are looking at the model of Pholios Iatros. I don't really know how to pronounce it because I'm not Greek. But I made this model for Cryptic, who is one of the players at our online D&D table. So yeah, let's talk about the design. I had a lot of great references when working on Pholios. A very useful one was the Hero Forge model that Cryptic made himself. It was a good reference point for the preferred color scheme and general vision for Pholios. I also noticed that Cryptic made him quite muscular actually, as opposed to what the character sheet had to say about that. But I thought, okay, he probably wants some muscles on Pholios. So I wanted to add some semblance of muscles without it being too much. I don't know if I managed to do that, but I guess my headcanon is that Pholios is too lazy to exercise, and he's got those wonky gamer muscles. But ultimately, I think the player fantasy should outweigh the numbers. And to me, Pholios is someone who is effortlessly beautiful. The man just wakes up with bad hair and he's good to go. Roleplay-wise, here's what Cryptic wrote about Pholios as his backstory. If you want to read it, you can pause the video, but the gist of it is that Pholios has some divine healer heritage, and he's searching for his father. So I gave him bright irises to reflect that divinity, which can be also seen in Cryptic's model. Personality-wise, based on my vibe detection system, and the way Cryptic plays him, he feels like a sort of an overconfident young adventurer who acts first and then thinks later, so naturally he gets himself into a lot of trouble and awkward situations. He also strikes me as someone who lived a privileged life without many hardships. He's young, he's out there, he's doing his thing, so I really wanted to capture that confidence in his expression and his pose. He's aiming his gun without looking, because he knows he's got this, but in reality he'll miss the shot. I think in some way his personality sibling could be Ezreal from League, or his real-life equivalent could be a college student who is having the time of his life, but doesn't realize his degree is going to be useless. He feels like a character that needs a lesson in humility first, before he can become a true hero. Gameplay-wise, he is a divine warlock. His patron is actually his father, and he is a Pact of the Tome. And Cryptic mentioned that Pholios carries around with him a traveling journal that he fills with notes and illustrations, so he sounds like an art major, so good luck to him. But I wanted to show that this journal is one of the sources of his magic. And Pholios also has a ring of spell storing. I also had some really amazing art references to work with. So usually when people play D&D and they're not artists, they usually just pick some cool art from the internet and they're like, yeah, that's my character, you know? So when I saw this art by Maxun and the way the hair was done with the laurels, I was like, I'm 100% doing the hair that way because it's perfect. And I was also inspired by the clothes with the opening on the side, but I only did one side because it felt like Pholios would not be shy to have that man nipple out. The nipple was made by putting a cigar into his body. Cryptic always described the character as Greek-inspired, or apparently there is some Greek story about Pholios and his father or something like that. I don't know, I'm not Greek. But I try to give Pholios clothes that reflect that fantasy, including sandals, because I assume the average Greek lives their life on a beach before they descend into the underworld. There were also great art references to the gun Pholios is wielding, and just to make it clear, the gun functions properly, it shoots bullets, but it is also his spellcasting focus. And essentially, when you have a gun and it's a perfectly crafted magic gun that was a gift, and the gun has a name and it's called Catharsis, then it is very clear that the gun is super important for Pholios. And when I went into making this mini, I knew the gun had to be the crown jewel. And it took me like 8 hours maybe to design it. Granted, the design itself is actually simple, it's just the getting there that took such a long time, because when your character is a divine healer gunslinger, you will soon find out there are no fantasy guns in Hero Forge. That's why even the gun in Cryptic's model is in the holster, because you either have real guns or you have sci-fi guns. So I had to make one with kit bashing. The very first attempt at the gun looked something like this, and I scraped it, so what are the issues? Well, for one, the gun looks like it can do magic, but it's lacking grace. It feels more like a junkyard tinkerer's magic energy gun rather than super awesome divine gun. The second attempt was something I thought I would go with, but we have some issues here as well, and they are not as obvious. For example, the gun looks more like a focused magic beam, like you get the vibe that this thing does not shoot bullets. And I think a better fit for this gun would be a Magitech universe rather than classic D&D. But what made me ditch this design in the end was a player interaction between Pholios and Clippiquack, who was another player character. And Pholios was bragging about his gun, and I thought to myself, would Pholios be proud of this gun if he showed it off? And to me, the answer was no. So in the last design, I started over, I switched the base gun to a revolver, and I worked on it until I came up with a design that feels like a runic revolver. It feels like it shoots bullets, and the runes feel like they invoke the magic. And most importantly, I wanted this gun to feel like whoever was behind its creation, that it was made with precision and love. If you want to check out Pholios and Hero Forge, I will leave a link to his model in the comments below. And that's it. Thank you so much to Cryptic for the awesome character idea. I had like a lot of fun working on Pholios. And I have like other minis to cover in the future, so if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to like, comment, and if you want to be part of this journey, please also subscribe. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, take care, and bye bye.